Hey guys, and welcome to the final part of my Let's Play of the PlayStation 2 and Wii version of Sonic Unleashed. This is pretty much just a little extra video because we've spent this entire game going around collecting all of these item boxes, all of these soundtracks, all of these film reels, all of these artwork pieces. I may as well show off what they do. Well, some of them. I'm not just going to show off the entire game's soundtrack, and we've already seen all the cutscenes, so there's no point in doing that. But other than that, let's see just exactly what all of this artwork does. Well, we know what the artwork does. It shows artwork. So the first up, we have these. They're sort of concept arts of the various enemies that you'll find in the game. On the selection screen, it does give you a little bit of information about them. Not much. Not as much as the HD version would give you, which itself really still isn't much. And it doesn't quite have every enemy, but it does have the vast majority of them. And this is where I learnt the names of all of these enemies. The Egg Fighter Shield, the Egg Fighter Spring, the Egg Fighter Shield and Sword, and whatever. You know, there's little things that latch onto Sonic and explode are called the Egg Shackles. What a weird name. When did we encounter them in this game? I don't remember what level we saw them in now. The little thunderball things. We obviously saw them, I just don't remember which level it was in. There's the Interceptor. It only says it'll chase you in the alleys of Appossus, but we clearly encountered one in Eggman Land. So that's misleading. It's actually found in 2 levels instead of 1. That's why I say it's sort of concept art. It's not that much. It's not much in the way of concept art. Like that's just an image of the enemy. You can sort of see it there, but it isn't much. I don't know if the HD version had more because that has concept art as well. I don't know if it's slightly more detailed than all of the stuff we're seeing there. You can go on to the next enemies. I just wanted to show off the little descriptions for each one, but this one is also misleading. The Electro Spinner. These harmless foes make for great action chains. Now, the second part of that is true. Harmless? Harmless? They're called Electro Spinners. They generate electricity. I've gotten hurt by them so many times in the likes of Arid Sands and Eggman Land. They are not harmless. Not in the slightest. In fact, that by default makes them some of the most annoying enemies in the day stages. They are not harmless, and these guys don't have any description at all. These wizards are easily recognized by their pointy hats. And then whatever color the enemy is. It doesn't even mention the Fright Master. The quintessential beating chump, whatever it said it was, for the nightmare. Like, that's the most concept you're going to get out of these concept arts. Like, that's just the front and the back. I guess they were... I mean, technically the spinners have been around since Sonic Adventure. They probably don't need much in the way of concept art. Meanwhile, it's like in Sonic Generations, some of the concept art, it says, from around the time of Sonic CD. So they may not necessarily be Sonic CD, but it's from around the time of Sonic CD. And I guess the different teams, it can only be Sonic CD or Sonic 2, right? And they were made by different people. So it must be Sonic CD by default, unless it's Sonic Chaos, which itself is someone different. And now, do you like, that's a lot of different stuff. That's what you call concept art. Maybe. I don't know. And yeah, this is all we have, and then eventually we get to some of the stage concept arts, and a few of the cutscenes have them as well. But there's one thing that does confuse me about the mother concept art that we will be seeing in just a moment, and yes, the sheer number of them does make them a pain to deal with. This guy's club is the last thing you'll see in whatever it said. Where's its arm? Like, why has the big mother not got an arm, and why does it look like it has a moustache? That's weird. Is that what's inside the Rex's mouth? Because that's gross. And there we go. He even gets his stick. I guess it's a part of him, maybe. And then we just have standard location concept arts. Some of them are of the hub worlds, which makes me... I've never really looked at the concept art, and I've never had an interest in it. is any of this shared in the HD version, or is it completely different? Because some of these are of the hub worlds, which doesn't really make much sense in this version of the game because it's just a menu. I mean, it still has the same, like that, it still has the same layout. Like, that was entirely the HD version in that hub world. And like, you have the orcas, they're not in this version, they're only in the HD version. You see the little doorway that leads to the entrance stage. I say doorway, the alleyway that leads to the entrance stage. I don't know if they're shared. I mean, there's no reason why they couldn't be when it comes to the hub worlds. And even everything else. Like, why can't that be shared? Because that's the Spagonia hub world. But it only really looks like that in the HD version. So, yeah, there's another one. Weirdly, it goes from station to station. Every now and then it goes backwards. I don't know why. Like, that was Chenan Day. We're going to go to a bunch of other stages and then eventually we'll go back to Chenan Night. Don't know why it's in that order, but it is. We never do see that crack in the wall in either version of the game for Arid Sands. Alright, well, there's not really much else to say until we get to some of the later stuff. So basically, I'm just showing off all of the artwork. There's the secret documents, most of which are pointless. We've done all the moves. We've collected all the item boxes, so they're kind of useless to us. And then I'm just going to showcase all of the songs. I did mean to showcase that last little extra thing we got in Jungle Joyride before the songs and end with them, but I completely forgot to do that. So we're going to end with that random little video. There's actually 3 of them in the HD version, but we only see one of them here. And that'll be how we end it. By the power of Kung Fu Panda. Don't know why, but I guess they did come out around the same time. I think Kung Fu Panda was in the summer, but other than that, they were around the same time, 2008. Yeah, back to Chenan again. Like, that's not Adabat, that's Chenan. We're in Eggman Land. That Ferris wheel has an eye. So I think it's like that thing from Lord of the Rings. I don't remember what it's called. The Eye of something. And now we have the opening cutscene, although that does look awesome. That looks exactly the same. I mean, you can see it's a picture rather than like in the game's graphics, but other than that, it looks exactly the same. So yeah, again, just to quickly wrap this up, I do think that this is a good starting point for the series. The main issue is the control. It's just a bit too loose for my liking. The day stages are a bit empty, the Werehog lacks in the combos compared to the HD version, but it's much easier, especially to 100%. It's so much more easier or whatever. And overall, you know, I still prefer the HD version, but this is pretty much tied with Heroes as my second favourite 3D Sonic game. I can go back and forth between the two. But we're not going to be getting to the HD version for a bit. Again, this is a personal retrospective. And next up will be the Wii version of Sonic Colors, a game that's just been beloved for so many years, and then all of a sudden, what happened? From 2010 to the first half of 2016, Sonic Colors was great. Hey look, there's the new teaser for Project Sonic 2017. You know, Sonic Colors was an awful game. Sonic 06 was better than that. That is literally what happened. Overnight, Sonic Colors' reception just dropped. It went from being beloved to hated, and I really don't know why. At least with the adventure games it seemed to be gradual, but this just happened overnight. I don't know when Lynn's arm there. It's like she had her arm around her back, but then when we saw her from the back, her arm wasn't there. And I don't know why every character seems to have... Almost every character has like one arm sticking out. I don't know what the point of that is. He doesn't, but most of them do. Yeah, like that. I don't know what the point of it is. Why has the concept art just got his clothes? What is the point of that? But anyway, that's not going to be... Sonic Colors isn't going to be the next game I do. I'll get to it shortly, probably the game afterwards. But next up, we're heading to one of my favourite games of all time. It will be Batman Arkham Asylum for PlayStation 3. And yes, I'm playing the PlayStation 3 version because I don't own the PS4 version. Frankly, I'm not sure if I want to. It's the same game, it just doesn't quite look as good. Resolution's better, but it loses some of the atmosphere, I find. But more on that when I actually start up the game. So we have all the music. So they'll look like those static televisions when you haven't collected them yet. And then when you go to the screen, they'll suddenly appear. Like all of that. So we'll listen to the songs just afterwards. The next thing we're actually going to look at will be... Once I've opened up all of the movies. Come on past me. I can't drag this out any longer. I said I can't drag this out any longer. Wow, I didn't collect a single one of those until the Gaia Gates and the special missions. Wow. And now we have these secret documents. They give you little hints on how certain things work, and then the later ones will tell you where you can find certain item boxes. Not really useful here, because I've already collected all the item boxes. So let's see. As Sonic grows, he'll learn the Wear Rush skill. Entering extra commands mid-dash will mean extra hits. That, plus the Werehog strength, makes this a killer. Night stage foes all have their own behaviour patterns. Knowing those can make even tough enemies easy. Try throwing a crate at one of those nimble killer bees when they're around. By tapping jump, Sonic can perform a low altitude quick jump. Perfect for going up shallow stairs at top speed when you want to climb without losing the pace. Fire masters are bathed in flame. Lightning masters freely wield bolts of electricity. But those traits can be used against him with a little water. But okay, I clearly didn't give myself enough time to read this, nor am I very good at reading, as it seems. That one tells you how to use the stomp move. Beating up baddies by day racks up action chains and fills the boost gauge. But there are times when it's quicker to avoid fights. If you full on boost, just speed on by. But sometimes you can't help it. Behind them lie puzzles with useful prizes. To grab these, we can give you useful hints. You can earn 3 sun medals per night stage if you clear it with an S rank. It's an S rank by reaching the goal with the allotted time, using combos to fight and grabbing enough energy from rings. I think I have to collect enough Gaia Force, not use combos. You can earn 3 moon medals per day stage cleared with an S rank. Beat the target time and you're set. And yeah, you can go back and if you're having trouble, come back later. One of Sonic's hidden abilities is the guard cancel. It is, because I always forget I have it until I started finding out, you know what, this is actually really useful against the Titans and Mothers. Maybe I could have used it on the killer bees. Some enemies are especially weak to throws, so give it a try. Though I find it more effective in the HD version. It's surprisingly damaging in the HD version, a lot more than you expect it to be. The night foes keep getting stronger! That was about Unleash mode. It's not free, but you can pound foes and pots to refill that gauge, so use it as needed. Spikes! Blow up if damaged, making them a pain for some players, oh yes. But if you throw them at a faraway enemy, they can become perfect hand grenades. Yeah, that's the Wear Claw, which I really wish you only did when dashing. The nature of combo change depends on the arm you start with. It doesn't matter if you can then alternate the buttons, you'll still do the same combo. I kind of wish you could do either. You go front attack, wide attack, front attack, stuff like that. But you can't do that, sadly. This is about the Gaia Gates, so you all know how they work by this point. And we finished the game, so if you don't know how they work, well, where have you been? And also move while guarding. Yes, you can. Unfortunately, I often do it when I don't want to. The Chaos Emeralds. Where are they? This is where it's going to start telling you about how you can grab some of the items. So this one just tells you to talk to villagers. Try dropping in on an old acquaintances too. Sonic Adventure start begins here. But who knew a path led off behind? So that's at the very beginning of Moonlit Town. And we saw that one jump across all the buildings to get to it. It has the best sea view. That one was in on top of another one of the buildings. In Moonsoaked Alleys that time. And then we collected that one just off the end, the one that's often cost me the S rank, because it's quite a strict one, that one. The town is quiet at night. Take a peek behind this shop and see what you find. It's a race across the rooftops to reach the goal. But what if you fell onto the street on purpose? Ooh. The goal's just in front of you, but wait! There's a path! Okay. I can't read for the life of me! I used to be good at reading. Maybe. Actually, I don't think I was. So you can go under the drawbridge in Dragon Road. Then she went over that broken bridge, taking the Dark Bat in Rising Dragon Falls. We've seen all of these, obviously. Go on top of one of the buildings at the beginning of Path to Darkness. And then go under the drawbridge, so don't make it go all the way down or you've missed out. I don't think you can make it go back up again. I don't think you can. I'm pretty sure I don't think you can. I think I've tried. So you can't do it. Where would that pole leading down take you? It tends to be a bit vague, but it gives you a good enough hint. I mean, it's got a photo. The photo is good enough, I say, for the most part. It's almost like you can just expect Riddler to just be going, riddle me this! There we go, it's a completely unintentional little thing I can use as a segue, I guess, to the Arkham Asylum playthrough. Because yeah, I'm collecting all of those Riddler trophies. And solving all the riddles. Why not? I have to. It's the only game where I can actually have fun doing it, compared to the other Arkham games. And there we go, back to the start. Okay, well, I'm going to exit out here. So, we're gonna listen to the 3 songs. We have Endless Possibility, Dear My Friend, and The World Adventure. I will see you guys next time with Batman, Arkham Asylum.
see it, I see it now. It's always been inside of me. And now I feel so free. And there's possibility. 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 Good times and bad times, I can count on being with you. I thank you for staying so true. My life will go on a long time, have to catch up when I see you. And you are my reason I can make it through. I will give my word that I will come in time to rescue. My heart will always be with you. I'm so glad I met you, being with me wherever, made for each other forever. I know life can be tough on you, time and time again. Laughter may be gone away. I will wipe away my tears tomorrow. But life must go on, not so easy. Let you travel away. I will be there if you need me, and I know you'll do the same. I can see you, I can hear you in my heart. You will be here if I need you. I will never have to guess, 'cause we are very special friends. So send me a letter, let me know how you're doing. You are my lifetime and true friend. Will never be forgotten. Having trust is all we may need. You are always with me in the life I lead. So far, far away from life I used to know. Worries are too far to. I will stop and close my eyes. Remember, end of the rainbow. I can take you. I will catch it for you. Memories you can recall with me any time of day. You can reach out, you can ask me in your soul. I will answer when you call me. I will come no matter how, 'cause we are very special friends. Just like a river that flows, just like stars in the dark night. Lead me in the storm, lead me in the dark. You are the light of my life. Oh, special friends.